Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we have kind of a special figure to be unboxing here. It's a figure I actually had my eye on for a while, and then I went out of stock everywhere online, of course, when I was considering actually buying it.
Yep.
So this is Sakura Shinguji. She's from the Sakura Wars or Sakura Taisen series. I guess the best way to describe that video game series is it's kind of old. It's from the 90s. Has a ton of games spanning up until now. It's like a tactical RPG mixed with like dating sim, and it's set in the like feudal era, I believe the Taisho era of.
So it's a Fire Emblem like.
Kind of, but like also it's more like it's got more traditional Japanese like style in it.
Okay.
But there are like robots and stuff. So
Sure.
kind of like steampunk, I guess you could say. And there's a bunch of badass ladies in it that fight, but that you can also date. So,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah, it's
Great.
this like in visual novel style. Like it's a really fun amalgamation of all of that stuff. They just released a game, kind of a remake here in America and worldwide this year, actually, back in April, which I would be very interested in playing.
Sure.
'Cause I want to see like what it looks like and how it reads and blah blah blah. But they haven't actually localized that many games in English.
That's always the tough thing about dealing with like primarily like text-heavy Japanese franchises, because sometimes,
Especially when they're not voiced.
yeah, even a game like Fire Emblem, there are still some, I'm pretty sure, like the early ones that have never been localized.
Right, yeah.
So it can be hard to
Really follow each series, especially if they started in like the 90s.
Right.
You know. But I've actually known about this series for a while. It's just a really cool kind of nostalgic series, in my opinion. But I would be interested in playing the new game. There is an anime. There's tons of media. There's spin-offs. Like, it's a huge franchise with tons of characters. But the mainstay is this Sakura, and then after game 4 of like the main line, it switches over to another Sakura, which isn't confusing at all.
Is she like the Saber of that franchise?
I guess,
Okay.
but she's also like, she's very nice. She's kind of,
Saber can be nice.
Saber can be nice. I think Saber's a little, more gung-ho warrior-like. This Sakura can be a little naive, a little bit bumbling sometimes, but she's kind of a normal girl, One of those normal girl sort of doing her thing in feudal Japan and thrown into extraordinary circumstances. So we got her for a little over $140.
Yeah.
When I had been considering buying her online, she was at $150, and this is not like, it wasn't necessarily a new purchase. I think she'd already been
Right, yeah, right.
released last year.
At some point, it's not even really a price question; it's a rarity question.
Right, like how many re-releases are they going to do? Where are they going to release it? Blah 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 blah, et cetera, et cetera. So, like I said, she just went out of stock all of a sudden everywhere. Maybe because the game released and people were like, "Oh my god, that's cool."
So do you know how old this figure is?
Like, she got her official release last year.
Okay, so she's not that
she's
old.
fairly new, but I mean, a year in figure time is like kind of old.
I feel like they intentionally did the style of this figure to look old.
Yeah, it's very nostalgic. If you look at the box and the colors, like all this stuff, it
feels
looks like a Sega Saturn game, which
right.
is where the original game came from. Yeah.
And of course, this one is brought to you by a company that I've never heard of called Aquamarine.
Yeah, but I think it's either a subsidiary of Good Smile or it was distributed by Good Smile.
Okay.
Because the official pre-order is on Good Smile's official website. So I apologize, my Aquamarine knowledge isn't super big. I've heard of them before. People generally like them. So, I mean, from what I can see so far, she looks really cool.
Yeah.
There is a background in here.
Okay.
Looks like there's some instructions because she is... Ooh, that's loud.
Oh, yeah.
She is going to be standing. Oops. Alright, cool. She's not as tall as this.
So she's a 1/9 figure, which means she
yeah.
herself is kind of small, but once she's combined with the base,
Yeah, she'll be tall, which I actually think is fine.
Mm-hmm.
I was reading some comments about her earlier, and people were kind of making a joke like 1/9 scale, but with a 1/8 price. Which, all right, sure, you can make that comment. I kind of agree. However, I think that if she were as big as her base, it might be a little too tall.
Yeah.
And too heavy. So I actually kind of like that the base is big to show that these robots that they're fighting are bigger than them.
Mm-hmm.
And then she is small and she kind of looks like a video game sprite in that way.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. I understand the high price kind of does get people. I think we looked on Amazon. She is just unofficially going for $180.
Yeah.
That's too high for me personally. Okay, let's get this blister pack off. Let's also check if there's one on the bottom. Tape on the bottom? No. Cool. All right. Scared. She's really light, so
yeah.
We might have another pop out incident here. This is
You gotta go one side at a time here.
Yay!
Yay.
All right. Put that on the ground. Cool.
All right. Whoa. Okay. That thing just slides right out then.
Yep. Nodokobu wants to come out.
Sure.
Here she is. She's probably gonna pop out too.
Yeah.
Very light.
Very light.
Yeah.
Especially compared to the Asuka that we just opened. It's
crazy.
Yeah.
This might be just me, but I love tiny figures. Like.
I think that's just you.
I think it might be just me.
It looks like we have good detail on the hair and stuff, though.
Yeah.
For sure.
That. Yeah. Definitely, you can see it blowing in the wind. All the little gold painting, on point. I don't see anything wrong with it.
How do we like the buttons?
In the front?
Yeah.
They look fine. Yeah, there's no paint bleeding or running that I can see.
Sure.
All these like fine details on her shoes. No running that I can see. She's got holes for pegs. We're gonna drop her in there.
Okay.
Her hair is fine. Bow is fine. Her face looks really cool, accurate to the promo art and stuff. She's got a very determined expression on her face.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I don't see anything wrong with this figure. The details are really nice. Granted, her outfit is actually pretty simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like she doesn't have a ton of other like markings or anything that they had to paint, but I honestly think that like getting like gold details and stuff like that is the hardest part of hand painting something. So I think they did a good job, like for what it is. I wouldn't pay any more than I paid though.
Definitely doesn't look like there's any bleed over.
No.
Looks
I don't
like
see any scratches. White sucks a lot because like any scuff shows up, you know?
Yeah.
Same concept as like a white car will show dirt easier. Like I don't see any scuffing. She even has some like cool like stuff like detail on her shoes.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like some fadey bits here on the arms to like kind of show like movement and stuff in like the clothing. So it's not just like one color, right?
So the one thing I will say is her jacket looks a little shiny. You don't really get a lot of like, I don't know,
glossy, yeah.
Yeah, especially in the back there, it's got a shine to it. I don't know if it's supposed to
be like leather style jacket or anything.
That doesn't really. If it is, it doesn't really look great in the very back.
Sure, I agree.
Just looks a little action figure-y in the very back, which again is, we were just talking about how some figures look good in one position.
Yeah.
And they're made to look good in that one position. And the second you turn them, you're like, ugh.
Yeah.
This might be one of those figures. Like from the front, she looks great. Like there's really like, you don't see the coat in the back.
Right, as much.
Yeah, you just kind of see the suggestion of it. Mm-hmm. You're definitely not going to pose her like this, you know.
No, yeah.
So.
I also think that they did like cool weathering looking on the belt, which is neat. I don't know, just a little attention to details like that. But yeah, I agree. The coattails are a little, action figure-y. Let's grab out her swords here.
Yeah, so the sword is separate. So it looks like the decision to keep them separate was purely for simplicity in packaging.
Can you put it in here? No, you cannot.
Okay, that was...
Hey, man.
I would have tried the same thing.
Yeah, I've seen some really fun things with figures.
Yeah, sword does not fit in the sheath.
No.
That is definitely...
But pretty detailed. It's a sword.
Mm-hmm.
It's a sheath. They're tiny and they're cute.
Do they feel flimsy?
No.
Yeah. Okay.
No,
Sure.
they're
They
actually
look flimsy,
kind
but...
of brittle.
Yeah.
Yeah, and not in a bad way. The sword has a little bit of give to it, but
Sure.
like, be careful, like, you know, and it's a little sharp too, so you don't want to poke yourself like trying to get that. But this sheath is definitely a little brittle. So when assembling, obviously, you just want to make sure that you're not like bending it to fit your form. You're bending it to fit the figure's form.
This is it called a hilt still on a samurai sword, or does it have a special name?
I'm not sure. There
Like,
might be like a name.
The
a word
braiding
in
on the
Japanese.
hilt, that definitely has to have a name. The braiding on the hilt, whatever you want to call that, looks great.
Oh yeah, and then the detail of the hilt itself.
The filigree there. If you
Yeah,
wanna...
the metal.
So it's like that kind of looks like a phoenix. Is it supposed to? Like, I kind of get a bird look on the filigree there on the bottom.
Yeah, it's a bird.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And can we get a look at the sheet there?
Yeah, it has some
Mm-hmm.
dark to light effects. It looks like wood. Like, it looks
Right.
really cool. Some staining effect that you can see on there. So it's not just a boring red. And this sword isn't just like boring silver.
Yeah, there's definitely some
They
some
did
decent
some
color
weathering
work
on
there.
the sword and some, you know, staining on the hilt.
That stuff looks really good up close.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah.
Just
But yeah, let's take a look at the base.
Sure. Cool. Robot guy.
Mm-hmm.
Actually got like a console in here.
Yeah,
for the
okay.
User.
That's cool.
Yeah.
No stickers or anything that you're supposed to put in there.
No,
I think it's
I
just
didn't see any.
more just a suggestion of a console.
Right. So, the focus is definitely not inside; it's on her.
And these are definitely the pegs
Yep.
for both the foot in the front and the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a feeling she's going to sit on there very sturdy. Sword in first or her on first?
I think I would do her on first.
Okay.
Because I don't want to mess up the sword.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Is it metal on metal or plastic on metal?
I think it's plastic on metal. Am I doing
Okay.
this right?
I would say the forward boot first.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just like when I go to put it, it's down here,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't. Might need to refer to the instructions
Uh-oh.
on this one. I just don't want to mess it up, but
Sure.
sometimes they like instructions are in the box. Sometimes they require you to kind of bend a figure in a way that you're not comfortable with.
Oh,
but they're
sure,
like,
yeah.
oh yeah, no, you can do it. Interesting. Well, none of these instructions are in English at all.
Okay.
There's just
good.
pictures, but these pictures look nicer. So
Looks like just slide it in there.
I guess, yeah, it's just weird because the hole for her foot, for this foot, is back here. And so if you line it up here, it doesn't really line in with this foot. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I got
if
it.
I put this foot first.
I think you
the hole
kind
should
of
be
just
there.
have to believe in yourself here.
Yes, I agree.
Let's.
Oops.
Oh, yep. That's. Nope. Just
Yeah,
you got to
it's-
believe in yourself. Do you want me to hold a foot here? I can hold the back one.
Sure,
It's a two-person job, it seems.
apparently.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I definitely feel it slide into
I
place.
felt that, but
Yeah.
hold on, let me just
That
look.
seems right. That seems right.
Oh, she's really doing a stretcheroo up here.
Yeah, that's sort of a weird look, huh? I mean, it's not like it looks.
It's not a weird look, it's a weird fit. I would
Yeah.
say. I'm not super excited about that. Does it not go any further?
That looks right to me.
Here, let's take her off really quick. I have a hypothesis theory.
You're tempting fate now. Oh, I don't support this. Okay. Yep. No. Okay.
I
good.
mean, eventually you have to take her off, so
Yep.
I'm just gonna. Okay, so it is pretty shallow.
Uh-huh.
So I just want to make sure. Yeah, that one's deeper. I just wanted to make sure that the peg isn't supposed to go all the way in there.
Uh-huh.
So this
Sure.
one is deeper, and she's supposed to
You want
go.
me to keep my hand on again?
I
No.
think it's
You got it this time?
yeah.
Get a look at the hair while she's doing that.
it seems like that's as far as it goes, which is interesting.
Okay. Well, do you see it from the front, or can you slide her forward?
I don't think
Let me
you
see.
can really see it from the front.
Oh yeah, it's definitely supposed to go in more than that though.
Are you sure?
Oh yeah, for sure.
This hole is, again, shallower than this one.
I think you're just supposed to believe in yourself a little bit.
Okay. Oh.
That felt right.
Oh my goodness, I'm so scared. Wow, this is a tight fit.
Yeah, I heard it slide in there though.
I saw it slide in there.
Let's take
sure
a look
if
at.
you're supposed to continue.
We can call it a day there. I think.
Yeah.
Too much more, I think, is gonna.
Because I don't want to like not be able to take her off when it's time to take her off eventually.
Okay. Sword time.
Yeah. So apparently.
Sheath probably right hand, left hand.
Looks like the sheath goes in the left.
That would line
Sword
up
goes in the right.
if she's a righty.
Right.
So I guess it's worth mentioning. I feel like a really valid criticism of this figure is that at the price point they're asking and the scale they're asking for it, you definitely need to do a lot of handiwork putting her together.
Yeah.
You know, like sliding her into place like that. Like
It's definitely an interesting pose.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see too many like it.
Sure. It's just whenever. I feel like this is more of a hallmark of a cheaper figure of like having to like, you know, mush it into place.
Yeah. Again, I wouldn't have paid much more for her.
Yeah, I would say even at the price point we paid,
It was
it
a little
definitely
expensive. It was a convenience price of not having to pay tax or shipping.
Mm-hmm. Definitely a cool figure. I mean, you can probably speak to it better than I can of whether it captures the essence of the character.
I think it does. I feel like they should have gone with a heavier base because you have to peg her in. Super like light plastic.
Yeah.
It's not even solid on the bottom.
Again,
should have been like a thick plastic base just so you don't feel like you're gonna break it when you push her in.
Do you know what the MSRP on this figure was?
She originally came out at about $120.
That still seems high to me. I don't know.
That's how figure prices go now, though. That's the thing, is especially from companies like Good Smile, Kotobukiya tries to keep theirs a little bit low, but they start at 100 usually.
I would say this is a $100 figure. Yeah. If I had to, you know.
Me too.
Yeah. So
but otherwise, it's really cool.
That was the. What is her last name? Help me.
Sakura Shinguji.
Shinguji, right.
Shinguji.
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 Okay. Either way, what she said by Aquamarine.
And Good Smile.
And Good Smile. Anyway.
Thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching.